I get messages all the time on Instagram and in my YouTube comments of people asking me, what is the best crystal for a beginner? What should I look out for when I'm going to buy my first crystal? What do these crystals mean? First and foremost, let me tell you that Google is going to be your best friend when looking into what certain crystals mean. But since I'm assuming that most of you guys watching this video are new to the world of crystals and holistic healing, I'm going to start with the very basics of certain things that you should understand when going to buy your first crystal. That way, when you go into your first crystal shop, you'll feel confident in knowing exactly what you're looking for. So before I get into this video, I do want to say, I said this in one of my other videos, the truth about why I no longer collect crystals. I still buy them, but I don't collect them. Is that the most important thing, that when you buy a crystal and you set an intention for it, you yourself have to put in the work for that crystal to then work. Say you buy a rose quartz and you buy this because you want to have it help you with self-love. But if you're still looking in the mirror and saying, I look disgusting today, I'm a terrible person, why did I do that? It's not going to work. The crystal is going to nudge you in the right direction so that hopefully you'll be able to see the path it lays out in front of you for you to then take action. It's not going to all of a sudden give you magical self-love powers. That's not how these work. I got a lot of heat in that video for saying that, but it's true. The same with the law of attraction. It works if you see the path that's presented to you and you take action. You're not magically just going to have $1 million house, but you'll be given the path to get there. So the same goes for crystals. You have to do the work. Don't go into this thinking that you are going to magically have everything you've ever dreamed of just by collecting some crystals. That's why in that video I mentioned I don't collect crystals anymore, because I want to remember the intention I put into each one of these stones. That way when I look at it, I'm remembering the intention that's behind it, and I can then focus on the path that is being placed in my life. So I definitely recommend keeping that in mind. People don't like to accept that they have to take responsibility to make their lives better. End rant. Let's get into the video. So I used to work in a crystal store, and one of my favorite things was helping people who had never been there before decide what crystal was right for them for their very first one. And what we would tell them was to go look at all the stones, go touch them, but most importantly, see what is calling out to you. What colors are you specifically drawn to? I'm always really drawn to light blues and greens. While there are crystals that are most popular that could be easily recommended for beginners, like quartz, amethyst, rose quartz, all of those are like the basics. I always recommend that you pick out the crystal that is best for you. This whole journey, this whole spiritual development, everything is about what is right for you. Your whole experience is going to be completely different from somebody else's experience. Nobody can tell you what is right for you. What I really recommend doing is sit down with yourself, get really quiet, and close your eyes. If you've never done a body scanning type of meditation, all you do is sit down, get really quiet, and tune into every part of your body, starting at your feet. And you slowly rise up your body, up your legs, go through all the chakras, all the way up to your throat and out through your head. But take your time feeling each part of your body. You can always feel the pulsing on your skin. You can feel like the blood running through your veins if you get quiet and still enough. So what you're gonna do is you're going to see if you can notice any blockages or where there's some resistance to where you're not feeling it. And you might instantly be able to tune into your body and know what doesn't feel right. If you're feeling a lot of stress, close your eyes and see where you can feel the stress in your body. Once you learn to become in tune with your body, that's when you can really start externally working on that with crystals and, herbs and all those fun things. Like, you can really help yourself once you become aware of what's going on inside. So the reason I'm saying this is because once you notice where that blockage is, you can then buy a crystal in that corresponding chakra, because your blockages are most likely going to be in one of those areas. So the root chakra is associated with the color red. It's at our very base of our spine. It's going to be your genitals. It's going to be the entrance to your body. It's going to be represented by feeling grounded and powerful. It's your deepest desires, your security and safety in life. And because it's associated with the color red, you can easily remember that red crystals are going to most likely associate with the root chakra, such as red jasper, carnelian, bloodstone, even tiger's eye, dark crystals like hematite, onyx, tourmaline, even dark green stones like moss agate. Those are going to really resonate with the root chakra and be helpful in aiding in blockages there. Then you have the sacral chakra, which is your emotions. It's water energy. It's your sacred waters. It's your womb. It's your creative center. It's where creativity is, birthed, started. So what is it that you want to birth into your life? It's associated with the color orange, so stones like citrine, sunstone, orange calcite, and carnelian again. Many of these crystals obviously are going to be able to help with many different chakras and be associated with many different things. But again, these are just the basic associations, just so you can easily remember what you're looking for when you go into one of these stores. Then we have the solar plexus, the one that I typically have a blockage in. It is associated with the color yellow. It's fire energy. It's your digestion. It's what fuels your passions in life. It's what's your driving force. What is fueling that creativity that you're birthing into the world. It's also your self-esteem, your confidence, and because it's associated with the color yellow, crystals like pyrite, yellow calcite, amber, yellow tourmaline, and yellow quartz are all going to be really good stones at helping you with your solar plexus. Also, bumblebee jasper comes to mind. So the heart chakra is air. It's your lungs, it's your breath. And air typically also represents your thoughts, your mind, your stress and anxiety. So a lot of times you're trying to fill your life with love, breathe in love, but rather your lungs are already filled with stress, anxiety. We're taking shallow breaths, so we're not getting in all of that goodness. You're just staying really constricted. So a lot of people have blockages in their heart. I was going to say lungs, but have blockages in your heart. As I learned in yoga teacher training over and over and over again back in the day, breath is life force energy, but so is love. And this creates loving communication because it's close to your throat chakra. It goes upwards. What are your intentions with the way that you speak? The heart is associated with the color green and also pink. More light green colors, more pale green colors will be associated with the heart. So crystals like emerald, jade, prehnite, moldavite, turquoise, aventurine, amazonite, and then we have the pink stones. So a lot of us think of the color pink when we think of heart, like a love heart is typically red or pink. Of course, rose quartz, lepidolite, rhodochrosite, those are all going to be stones that are good for your heart chakra. So the throat chakra is standing up for what you believe in. If you have, been holding something back, like you're really angry at people, but you're just shutting it down, you're gonna probably have a blockage in your throat. But all of this in your throat comes from your heart, comes from love. So it's your self-expression, your authenticity. How are you not showing love to yourself by not expressing that externally? It's also your ability to listen and understand in a loving, compassionate way. Trying to be as compassionate and understanding and as peaceful as you possibly can, while also not neglecting standing up for yourself and standing up for your truth. The throat chakra is associated with the color blue, but more of a lighter blue. So things like aquamarine, larimar, angelite, kyanite, but also sodalite and lapis and apatite. So then we have the third eye chakra, and that is all about light. Like, how are you illuminating the darkness? What are you being able to see that's beyond the veil? Not necessarily like spiritually, but like, are you able to see through certain situations in your life and are able to see from a different perspective, see outside of the darkness? How are you trying to see different situations in your life? Are you constantly having the victim mentality, thinking that the world is constantly against you? Or are you seeing it from a different perspective, thinking that, well, this happened to me, I'm going to either learn a really intense lesson from it, or something better is at the other end of it. So seeing things from a different perspective and seeing what's beyond the veil is what the third eye chakra is all about. So if you have a blockage there, crystals that are purple or dark blue, like indigos, are going to be your best bet. So crystals like amethyst, of course, we always hear that. There's sodalite and lapis. Again, those two are really great for your third eye as well as your throat. My favorite stone for the third eye is labradorite and lapis, but labradorite mainly because it's so representative of what that means. You can hold it and think, oh, this is like an ugly slate crystal, but if you just turn it a little bit and get that sheen from the light, the labradorescence, you're gonna see it in a whole new perspective, and it's going to be beautiful. And that's how I like to think of life situations. Thinking that, oh, this looks crappy right now, but if I just take a different perspective, it can be a beautiful outcome if I choose to see it that way. Other crystals that are really good for your third eye chakra are like charoite, ametrine, lowlite, and azurite. Did I say that? I don't think so. Those are all really great and beautiful stones for your third eye. You can also meditate with all of these crystals on your chakra centers. If you like meditating, I like to lay on my back anyway, so just tune in. That's the most important thing. Like, try to feel the energy pulsing in that area of that chakra, and you'll see that it starts to really work. It's doing the work though. You're doing work by doing that. And then finally, we have our crown chakra. Your crown chakra is right here, right up at the top of your head. It represents clarity, your connection to the divine, being open-minded and knowing that you are connected to not only something else, but also to everyone else. Seeing things not only for a different perspective, from a higher perspective, knowing that you are connected to everyone around you, and you can always see the reflection of yourself in other people. So certain things that you don't like about other people is a reflection of something that you don't like about yourself. So noticing that and understand why, that's all the crown chakra. So it's unity, it's wisdom, and it's represented by the color white and clear. So what crystals then are white or clear? Well, there's actually a few, and of course we all know clear quartz. Clear quartz can also be programmed to work for anything really that you want. Basically, you charge it with whatever it is that you want. That's one of the best stones for beginners that we always would recommend at the store, but there are many other stones that would benefit you more. So we have moonstone, howlite, white calcite. These are all so pretty, like milky white colors. Howlite is gorgeous. So then we have selenite, I have one right next to me, white agate, herkimer, apophyllite, scolecite. These are all going to be crystals that are really great for your crown chakra. So I hope that this guideline kind of really helps you out. One of the easiest ways to remember is that it's literally a rainbow going up. So you have red, orange, yellow, green, and pink, blue, purple or indigo, and white. So that's super easy to remember. And then what you can do is you can go up to all of the stones that are associated with the color you're going in there for and see what calls out to you. I think that this is a really great way to have some sort of a plan when going in, because it can be really overwhelming at first, like, there's so many, where do I start? But if you have some sort of a plan, like at least a color that you're looking for, that could be really helpful. But I wouldn't go in looking for a specific stone that you learned about on Google because you read that it's going to be good for this area. No. Definitely do your own work. If you don't do this whole meditation thing, just go in there and see what calls to you. What are the colors that you're most drawn to, and pick out the prettiest one. And then if you want to learn what it means, just go on Google afterwards and see how it aligns with what you really need in your life, because I'm sure that it's going to align in some way. And it's going to be a little bit weird at first. But again, this was just a general outline. Many of the stones I mentioned are amazing for other things as well, but this is just the very, very basics of how you can remember what you're going in there looking for. I also want to mention that different stones, if they're in different colors, for example, charoite is purple and black, and bloodstone is dark red and dark green, that will take the energies of the two colors and mesh them together into one. So that can be really helpful as well. So if you see a stone that has many different colors, but you don't know what it means, think about what those colors mean in terms of the chakras, and then you'll be able to put two and two together. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little bit more confidence and power in your own intuition. You know what's best for you. You don't need anybody to tell you what you should buy or what the best stone is for a beginner, because your intuition will know best. It will not drive you astray, I promise you. I hope this video helped you, and if you want to go crystal shopping with me, I'm going to leave this video right here so you can see how I do it. And if you're looking for a friend to go along with on your journey, whatever that may be, give this a thumbs up and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!